Salam damai sejahtera Kristus kiranya menyertai kita sekalian dimanapun Anda berada.
Secara batin, bagaimana perasaan Indra? Ada nggak terasa sekali perbedaan sekarang dengan yang dulu itu?
Secara batin ya, Ustaz?
Iya.
Ya alhamdulillah kalau secara batin sih itu kan kita sendiri yang tahu, Ustaz.
Iya.
Batin kita berubahnya di mana, apa perubahan kita.
Iya.
Menurut Indra sih drastis lah perubahan batin ini.
Iya, jadi
Ya belum kerasa kok. Indra, namamu Indra apa? Ganti nama mungkin kok sekarang ya, Muhammad Hidayat. Oke lah, nanti baru kau rasa itu.
nikmat sekarang dari
nikmat
dulu.
sekarang sempurna lah.
Wush,
Alhamdulillah.
mantap.
Terus ada nggak
Coba kita lihat
usaha-usaha untuk mengajak keluarga mengenalkan agama teroris,
Betul, Ustaz.
dihubungkan dengan agama Islamnya?
Ya, betul, Ustaz.
Padahal ada orang dari agama lain yang melakukan pembunuhan kepada orang Islam,
Iya.
bahkan sampai lagi sholat Jumat ditembakin segala macam. Yang bersangkutan kan tidak dituduh sebagai teroris. Nah,
Iya.
ada penghakiman manusia yang secara tidak adil terhadap agama Islam. Tapi Indra tidak terpengaruh dengan itu. Kadang-kadang ada mu'alaf.
Alamak, klasik kali, playing victim. Tetap aja mau dibilang pun itu agama lain yang mengganggu kalian sholat lah misalnya gitu. Itu untuk kalau tujuannya untuk menakut-nakuti kalian, teroris namanya, selesai. Ya selesai. Mau siapa? Kamu mau pakai contoh New Zealand kan cuma satu itunya. Selesai, itu teroris namanya sudah gitu. Nggak perlu di ini KTP-nya mungkin Kristen atau saya nggak tahu lah itu, tapi tetap tindakannya atau dia itu disebut sebagai teroris karena dia memunculkan ketakutan di antara kalian. Tapi jangan grogi dan jangan ini juga, jangan keki juga kalau dinyatakan hal yang sama ke kalian. Justru memang Islam itu banyak melakukan tindakan teroris, tapi yang membedakan adalah di dalam kekristenan tidak pernah diajarkan untuk melakukan tindak terorisme, tidak pernah menakut-nakuti, tidak pernah memakai ketakutan itu menjadi alat untuk menguasai. Kalau di Islam itulah ajarannya, ya, dengan segala hormat, pelajari lagi itu. Jadi fix kalau saya mengatakan kalau itu orang Kristen melakukan tindak terorisme, kita sebut itu tetap teroris. Tetapi kekristenan tidak mengajar itu. Kekristenan mengajar apa? Kasihilah musuhmu. Jadi kalaupun orang lain itu dianggap musuh, ya dikasihi, didoakan malah. Sama seperti sekarang, kami nggak pernah mengutuki kalian, kami berdoa untuk kalian. Kami berdoa untuk umat Islam. Kami berdoa untuk kalian, keselamatan kalian. Ya nggak seperti kalian tiap hari dari surat pertama saja dari Al-Quran itu sudah ngutukin, udah ngata-ngatain Yahudi dan Kristen. Ya gitu. Kemudian nanti di soal lain, aduh itulah kalau kita lihat teroris itu bukannya apa ya, bukannya dia dapat sendiri tuh pengajarannya, enggak lah, itu dia ajarin. Pakai apa ininya, dalilnya? Ya kan dari Quran juga, dari hadis juga. Jadi memang itu ajaran kalian. Jadi Indra, ya mungkin kamu memang jiwamu mungkin jiwa yang seperti itu, makanya kamu masuki sesuatu yang seperti itu. Ya itu kau lah.
Tapi itu ya dalam rangka brainwash ya, untuk menanamkan keraguan agar dia murtad lagi begitu. Tapi Indra sendiri nggak terpengaruh ya?
Aduh, sorry lah Ustaz. Jadi kalau kau ketemukan pun banyak mualaf yang murtad lagi, balik lagi, itu karena dia sadar, karena akal sehatnya masih ada, karena dia cerdas. Sorry ya.
Alhamdulillah enggak lah Ustaz, karena kita kan ya Ustaz tahu sendiri posisi anak di pesantren, jadi terjaga lah gitu.
Alhamdulillah
terjaga. Dan isu-isu itu semua propaganda mungkin lah Ustaz.
Betul.
Propaganda media sosial, karena banyak di media sosial itu yang bungkam akan kebenaran Islam.
Betul.
Jadi mereka membuat berita hoax. Jadi setiap umat di dunia
atas
ini
kebenaran Islam atau kau yang tutup.
Karena Islam itu agung, jadi mereka mau merendahkan.
Betul.
Islam itu tinggi, jadi mereka mau jatuhkan. Iya, di situ posisinya.
Luar biasa ya.
Assalamualaikum, peace to you all. My name is Saba Ahmed. I'm a law student at American University. I am here to ask you a simple question. I know that we portray Islam and all Muslims as bad, but there's 1.8 billion Muslim followers of Islam. We have 8 million plus Muslim Americans in this country, and I don't see them represented here. But my question is, how can we fight an ideological war with weapons? How can we ever end this war? The jihadist ideology that you talk about, it's an ideology. How can you ever win this thing if you don't address it ideologically?
Great question. I am so glad you're here, and I am so glad you brought that up because it gives us an opportunity to answer. What I find so amazing is since the beginning of this panel, which we are here about Benghazi attack against our people, not one person mentioned Muslims. We are here against Islam, or we're launching war against Muslims. We are here to discuss how 4 Americans died and what our government is doing. We were not here to bash Muslims. You were the one who brought up the issue about most Muslims, not us. And since you brought it up, allow me to elaborate with my answer. There are 1.2 billion Muslims in the world today. Of course, not all of them are radicals. The majority of them are peaceful people. The radicals are estimated to be between 15 to 25% according to all intelligence services around the world. That leaves 75% of them peaceful people. But when you look at 15 to 25% of the world Muslim population, you're looking at 180 million to 300 million people dedicated to the destruction of Western civilization. That is as big of the United States. So why should we worry about the radicals, 15 to 25%? Because it is the radicals that kill. Because it is the radicals that behead and massacre. When you look throughout history, when you look at all the lessons of history, most Germans were peaceful. Yet the Nazis drove the agenda. And as a result, 60 million people died. Almost 14 million in concentration camps. 6 million were Jews. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at Russia, most Russians were peaceful as well. Yet the Russians were able to kill 20 million people. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at China, for example, most Chinese were peaceful as well. Yet the Chinese were able to kill 70 million people. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at Japan prior to World War II, most Japanese were peaceful as well. Yet Japan was able to butcher its way across Southeast Asia, killing 12 million people, mostly killed with bayonets and shovels. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. On September 11th in the United States, we had 2.3 million Arab Muslims living in the United States. It took 19 hijackers, 19 radicals to bring America down to its knees, destroy the World Trade Center, attack the Pentagon, and kill almost 3,000 Americans that day. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. So for all our powers of reasons and us talking about moderate and peaceful Muslims, I'm glad you're here. But where are the others speaking out? And since you are the only Muslim representative, applause till the end. Thank you. And since you're the only Muslim representative in here, you took the limelight instead of speaking about why our government, and I assume, are you an American? You're an American citizen. So as an American citizen, you sat in this room, and instead of standing up and saying a question or asking something about our 4 Americans that died and what our government is doing to correct the problem, you stood there to make a point about peaceful, moderate Muslims. I wish you brought 10 with you to question about how we can hold our government responsible. It is time we take political correctness and throw it in the garbage where it belongs and stop calling it
Ustaz. Jadi orang bilang Islam teroris. Oh, enggak, sebenarnya enggak ada. Di Islam jujur enggak ada Islam diajar kekerasan.
Iya.
Apamu enggak ada diajarkan kekerasan?